What up, YouTube? Beautiful Sunday. Not really. Freezing cold. Welcome to the Trumpet Dungeon. I'm Jonathan, and trumpets have ruined my life. Just kidding. But no, seriously, welcome to Donalds Trumpets Vintage Horns. If you like vintage brass, you have come to the right place. I promise you, though. Don't worry, Donalds Trumpets? I don't know if I like this guy. It's about brass and brass alone. Quick story, but my dad, when he passed, Donald, by the way, left me a lot of really cool vintage horns. I decided, you know what? I'm going to create a channel in his honor and catalog each one of these beasts before they're released into the wild. So that's what we got. And believe it or not, I never played trumpet my whole entire life. No cornets, no flugelhorns, no mellophoniums, euphoniums, none of that stuff. I thought it was for nerds. I was always a guitar guy. And then something miraculous happened because obviously I was given an interesting situation with these horns. And I figured, you know what, I'm going to learn how to play these. It's going to help me understand the horns a little bit better, help me get rid of them. And whoa, look at this. I wound up getting bit by the bug, so I love it. But today I wanted to do something different. This has actually been a consistent daily player of mine. This is a Mount Vernon made in USA trumpet. Anybody that knows anything knows this is not a Bach, not even close to a Bach, Mount Vernon. But something about this horn really did grab me, no joke. I mean, I saw one of these on eBay for about 200 bucks, not in as good of condition as this one is, and it's been out for sale for a year now. And my thought is, hey, I'm not getting rid of this horn for 100 or 200 bucks, and here's why. Check this out. Well, as I rip the slide out. So that's, I mean, every slide just is super tight compression as I take them out of the horn. But you get the point. This is something that there's not a lot of value in it, so I don't have to worry too much about, you know, kids dropping it, whatever it may be. And the horn plays beautiful. It does not play as nice as the actual Mount Vernon, I will admit, but it's pretty doggone close, and you really can't beat it. So, but what I wanted to do today was touch on the elusive mouthpiece safari that so many people colloquially, I tried a big word. I'm going to stick to my, I don't know. Okay, so nevertheless, so many people, you know, so fondly speak of, or they speak of tongue-in-cheek, because I can understand how a mouthpiece safari can really distract you from the number one most important element, and that's practice, right? Playing the trumpet. But once you get a little bit under your belt, getting the right kind of mouthpiece truly does transform the horn. And so I wanted to use this horn. Nothing special about it in and of itself. It's probably from the 90s is my guess. But I wanted to start with a Bach 7C, just kind of the standard run-of-the-mill, and go through the spectrum, try some that I think are better suited for high notes, and then I'm going to land at the end on something that I've really, really grown to like. And my preference overall is a warm tone, so that you know I'm going to be a little bit biased to it. But without further ado, let's jump in. I'm going to play, I've been working on this Chet Baker solo. It ain't that great, right? But it's something. So to give you an ear to compare it to. So without further ado, let's do this. So again, it's not about my playing. It's about the horns. It's about the concept. Let's do a Dennis Wick 4B, another kind of run-of-the-mill, middle-of-the-road mouthpiece. So a little bit harder to hit the high note, and it doesn't have as much of a warm feeling to it. So moving along, I'm going to go quick through this. Let's do a Mount Vernon. This is a 1 1/4 C. You don't see a lot of these. This one, believe it or not, I've found that the bigger the mouthpiece, sometimes the easier it is for me to hit high notes. We'll see. Haven't really been playing too much today, but let's give it a shot. So yeah, I can hit the high notes easier with that big old piece. 1 1/4 Bach. And I noticed right away, this one plays a lot louder than the 7C did, for example. Let's see, as we're moving along, jet tone. This is the Al Hurt model. I would think higher register with these, but I'm not a big fan of it. It feels like it covers my whole mouth, but we're going for tone. So I want to look at a mixture of playability and tone, obviously. So harder to hit the high note. I'm not gonna pain you with that. So that's the Al Hurt. So far, the 1 1/4 C has been the easiest to hit the high notes on. That's a good mouthpiece, I'm not gonna lie. And look at this one. This is the Mount Vernon, an actual Bach. This is a 10 1/2 CW. This is an interesting piece. Can't really see it, but the lip on this thing, or the rim, is massive. Kind of a smaller opening on the actual cup. And it does V down a little bit before leveling off. But let's check this one out. I do find that this one is easier to hit high notes with, but it just doesn't, it lacks like body and soul to it. So let's see if you can hear it. So hard to tell. Once I hit high notes several times in a row, it gets harder to do. But I would say that even that one, small cup, etc., harder to hit the high note. Let's try it. So yep, back to the 1 1/4. But this is what I wanted to make my point with on this video. I don't know the manufacturer of this. I think this was a custom mouthpiece of my dad's. All it has on here is the letter S, and it doesn't stand for shallow. Maybe it stands for super V cup. You can't really see it, but dang, this thing is deep. It's a deep V. I will tell you automatically, it's a lot harder to hit the high notes on here, but this gives such a tone. And it's almost, I call this like my Flugelhorn transformation piece, because yeah, I got a Flugelhorn down here that I'm gonna play after this. And I want you to see what for yourself. Do you think this really does transform the horn? And that's the biggest point that I want you to take away from this, is if you have a horn that's got decent compression, it's easy to play, etc., you might think that getting that Stradivarius or whatever it may be is going to be your ticket to improving your playing, and it probably will. I mean, they play nice, and there's a lot of advantages. But sometimes just changing your mouthpiece can completely transform your horn. You might be searching for a Martin Committee, right? I think this thing right here just gives me that warm, buttery tone, and voila, just found in that mouthpiece. Super deep V cup. Let's do it. So warm. And we'll close it out on the Flugelhorn. This is a York York artist, sorry. This one's, I don't know a lot about Flugelhorns, but this one's kind of different. It's like almost like a left-handed Flugelhorn. Let's give it a shot. So it's, you know, the trumpet's definitely not the Flugelhorn, even with the deep V mouthpiece. So the Flugelhorn seems louder. It doesn't matter which Flugelhorn I play, it seems to have this kind of blanket of sound that always just wraps around me. So the Flugelhorn's louder, but I think from a tone standpoint, it does kind of bring that warmth into the song. So out of all these mouthpieces, this is the one I've been playing on the most, is this V, just because I like that warm tone. What's another one? No, just been noodling on that one this morning. That's what's so cool too about trumpet is if you like to sing like songs, once you start to understand where the notes are, you can pick up just about any melody that you know and just go to town on it. So Mouthpiece Safari, it's definitely a trip you should take. If you have any questions, I've had a pretty good experience with different kinds of mouthpieces. So if you want my opinion on a specific piece, if you're interested in some of the ones I have, feel free to shoot me a message. And if you haven't subscribed and you made it this far in the video, you love trumpets or you love Jonathan, and I'm gonna guess you love trumpets. So hit that subscribe button because there's a lot of content to be released and you won't be disappointed. It'll get better, I promise. So thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Peace. Are we done? Are we done? No, it's still recording. Hit the stop button. Just do it. Subscribe.